Well, hello. Welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, here to help guide you on your burning adventures. I'm joined with hubby Jason,
Hubcap.
who will be answering or reading the questions to me so that I know what's going on in chat. I want to say hi to everybody in. Let me get on the watch page so I can see you. Today we are finishing up this piece. Yay! I'm going to be putting in the shadows that are along the right side of the piece, a little bit under the book, darkening up some areas so that I have a little bit more balance in my contrast, and using, for the first time for me, a white colored pencil to add my highlights and just hopefully really make this pop. Hi, Paul. Hi, Michael Ann. Hi, Eve.
Meg. Meg's here too.
Hi, Meg. Sorry, didn't see that. Now, I realized I forgot, again, to sand down the graphite, especially on the left side. So I will quickly do that.
What do you mean sand that down the graphite?
Well, because remember the erasing issue with this board?
Oh, yeah.
So I have to sand and try to do it with the grain. Hopefully it doesn't make too much noise. Because this is light. This is a little darker, and I just really want to be able to hide the graphite. So, get that. I did work to darken the box a little bit. I recorded it, just haven't uploaded it yet. This really does not like this graphite paper. I don't think I'm going to get too awfully light.
That box looks amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I saw it briefly last night when you showed it to me, but I couldn't see that good.
Let's see here. Now that I've loosened up some of the graphite, let's see if I can get some out.
Angel Stewart is here.
Hi, Angel.
Said my first live stream.
Yay!
Hooray.
Welcome. The toasties will definitely make you feel welcome. And chat is always a blast. I go back and read it after the live. Yeah, this is the real frustrating part, I think, is the graphite. And it's just not wanting to come off. So I'm just going to have to work with it. In this particular case, I'm trying to get all the sanding debris out. And I just have to work with it. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with the Colwood today.
Okay.
And I'm going to start off light.
Okay.
And work with me. This is the flat round. I've got my test board underneath me. Let's see, do I need to zoom in? Maybe a little bit.
Maybe.
All right.
Depends on where you're working.
I'll move it over to the right. The camera won't go. There we go. I'm going to start off on the right over here. And I've got the burner, I'm bumping it down to just below 2 to start. I want this really light because I want it to pop out my subject. So, and because this is raw wood, I can go with a lighter setting. I can still, I'm actually down below 1.
Raw wood, meaning you haven't burned on it yet?
There's no layer of burning on here.
Okay.
So even where you had it bumped up on the dark areas, or even the light middle areas, and it was burning lightly, when the minute you touch the light wood, it's going to burn darker.
Angel says, my one and only wood burn. The pencil mark was a pain. Didn't think of sanding it. Cool tip already.
Awesome. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't had issues with the Mona Lisa graphite paper in the past, but...
You haven't or have?
Have not.
Oh.
I won't be using it again just to ensure this doesn't happen again. So let's get the straight edge out. Let's see here. I'm going to try to go right with that pencil so I can kind of hide it, because that really frustrates me.
Michael Ann is cooking Western scrambled eggs.
Ooh. I believe that's onions and bell peppers and cheese, and wow, we're still hot. I'm going to blow on the tip. And here we go.
Where are you blowing on the tip?
To cool it off just a hair before I touch down. See, it was still too dark when I touched down.
And I know that most chat knows this, but for anybody who's not familiar, why are you using the glass now?
The glass is my straight edge. It doesn't heat up.
Okay.
And it just makes it easier. I can see through it, so I know how things are lined up. It just really worked out well for me. Though I have to be careful. I can accidentally slip and align with it. Luckily, the base part of the shadow is darker.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to be okay. Make sure I'm on screen here. So I did record darkening the box. I'll probably, and a little bit of the feather. I'll go ahead and upload that as a speed just to fill in the gaps of what I did for this one. So if I slow down, because I'm moving the tip quickly to kind of keep the heat even, but if I slow down, it will darken. And I've got a split in the lid right there. But
up above there?
Yeah, right where the pin is right now. Yeah. That's just part of the wood. It wasn't anything that I did.
Add character to the background.
Yeah. On the wood box, I did kind of alter how it looks. I looked at it closer, and I liked how the petal leaves were coming out, and I thought that the branches were kind of taking away from it, so I stuck with that.
So you arted it.
I arted it.
Angel has a question.
Yes, please.
What tip on the walnut hollow pens would that tip that you're using equate to?
The shader, it looks like a flat spade shovel. That's the only thing that popped in my head.
A shovel?
A shovel, yeah. Oops, I lifted the pen, so now I need to blow on it again and touch down somewhere darker. Yep, it still didn't draw enough heat. The shader tip is the one similar to this one.
Okay.
And I do highly recommend sanding the bottom of that tip smoother and to get rid of the little bump on the end, and you're less likely to get the hot spot blobs. Can't think today. Tongue and brain not working together. Right now I'm just trying to blend. Luckily the shadow does not have to be exact. It just has to be going in the correct direction. And as it gets further away from the subject, it diffuses out more. So here we're just blending.
You know, it would be quick to do the background in an even tone.
Oh, I know what you want. You're gonna get Eve all worked up. I could not control it the way I want it for this background.
I gotcha.
That is why I'm not doing it.
In regards to the tip, Angel is asking, looks like a spatula or a Star Trek symbol.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the curvy triangle. Yeah, curvy triangle. It's the one with the flat wide bottom.
Gotcha.
Kind of like me.
No.
So I'm trying to blend the darker area, but I don't want to go too dark because then it'll take away from the ink bottle.
Eve says me never in regards to the getting her triggered.
He really likes the T word though.
Yeah. Is that where we're gonna? Is that?
Yes.
Gonna keep it safe and the T word.
The T word.
You're gonna have to do another one of those videos.
I
soon.
will. I will.
For me.
For you?
Well.
Oh, you want marshmallows.
I had to go to a whole kiln to get marshmallows.
Now, all of the background is not going to be burned. The light source is coming in from the bottom left, and so that creates the shadow on the top right.
Michael Zerker asks,
Hi, Michael.
has anyone ever wood burned on a curved surface like a wood vase or a bowl?
A lot of wood turners do. I have burned on the basswood cradle board that you see at Michael's.
The gourd.
Oh yeah, the gourd. That was, yeah. But I've burned around the corners, the edges of that.
Michael is a wood turner. He says, I don't know if that's his main thing. Maybe he can tell us. But he said, I just bought a kit and I want to wood burn some of my wood turned pieces.
Awesome. And do you watch Martin Sabine on YouTube? Because he's an awesome wood turner who does very artistic turnings. He also has a couple of wood burnings.
That's right, I forgot that he did.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. He's over in the UK. I'm still waiting for the stains to test.
Customs.
I think it's Martin Sabine Smith. Oh, I'd have to look at my subscription. See, the cap on the ink bottle does need to be darkened. I didn't fully burn everything because I wanted to be able to adjust.
See, what's interesting about this piece to me is that I was in class with Greg Hill, and he was using Bister ink to do his projects, and Bister ink looks a lot like wood burning, and he liked that smoky feel, and that's exactly what I'm seeing in the background, is that it has that kind of smoky effect to it. And, I mean, it's really nice.
I'm looking up on the camera. It's not picking up the light shade as well.
Oh. Michael is actually, he says he's friends with Martin.
Oh.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah. He's a nice guy. I like watching his videos. And I don't wood turn. I watch all kinds of artists. You never know what you're going to find.
Nope. Never do. Sorry, I forgot I was being loud.
I think you bring food in here just to tease me.
It's part of my ritual.
Now I am going to darken this shadow. I'm just trying to get the base burning so that when I up the heat on the pen, I can get a little more even gradient.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
Michael says, I know he burns his pieces, but I am more interested in burning more realistic stuff like the work you do, Belle.
Oh, thank you. The biggest advice I can give is have patience. Pay very close attention to your reference photo, if that's what you're using, and take your time. Oh, layers. Layers. I'm a very big supporter of layers.
We both are. And when people kept talking about the Jupiter piece, and they're like, "Oh, how did you get the transparencies?" And it's layering.
Yep. I think layering is what really gives you the... Now, I'm not going to burn the darker wood that I'm getting close to because I like it. I kind of want to keep it.
Oh, okay. Angel says, I'm having wood burning pen envy. You have no idea. Or maybe you do.
If Angel... don't want to stop. If Angel found me through Facebook, hopefully on my group page, he saw the photo of my collection.
Paul says, Grace, isn't it always food? Is he talking about me?
Is Grace in too? I forgot.
Yeah, Grace is here.
Hi, Grace. Sorry. I was not looking up.
I'm having the chicken soup that George brought over mixed with rice. That's very good.
Well, so I can go all the way over, thankfully. And, oh, I picked up the pen. Okay, so I've got some of the shadow in. I think I want to, before I go further, I want to darken the cap a little bit. I do see some pencil line that's really bugging me.
Okay.
So let's see if I can hide it. Trying to keep with the shape of the objects. Let's see here. That's what gives the realistic feel, is the abstract shapes.
Oh my god, that was good. Sorry. I didn't eat breakfast. I don't eat on Wednesdays until we do the live stream.
I know, you do this intentionally.
But it's nice. I sit here with coffee, have something to eat, watch our awesome people in chat.
Well, I think we have the best chat.
We totally do. We totally do. I've seen a lot of chats. Ours is really amazing.
And I love that they go all over the place. You never know what is going to be discussed. So getting in a little bit of the darks.
Michael has some questions.
Yes, please.
And so does Angel. Michael asks, Val, have you ever used Colwood? Have you?
This is a Colwood right here that I'm using.
He says, I bought the Colwood Super Pro 2 and some fixed tip pins. It just came this weekend. Excited to try it out.
Awesome. That's what I'm using right now.
And Angel says, I heard you do great feetless elephants. What? What is that
My
about?
very first wood burning.
Oh, okay.
Feetless.
Oh, they were in the dust, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure how to incorporate it.
Did you do people can't draw hands, so they hide them? Did you hide the
No,
elephant feet, Valarie?
The elephant feet weren't showing, so I wasn't sure how to burn the dust around their feet. So
I'm kidding.
I know.
You can burn anything you want.
I know. It's funny that he saw that one. I'm so proud of it.
I'm sorry, Grace. Apparently, Grace has got to go heat up some leftover pizza. She says, thanks, Jason. That's what I do.
You made Grace hungry. Alright, so the shadow for the inkwell is still supposed to be darker. This area I'm going to have to bump up the tip, the heat, so I'm going to not do that. I'm going to try to go back to the ink bottle.
Ah.
I'm going to touch down at the hottest area, or the darkest area, and try to get my pen flat to go back here. There we go. No blobs there.
No blobs.
No blobs. I don't want to go too dark though. Finish. Bringing the bottle out. The bottle is the most detailed shape in the shadow. But because I'm going lighter and doing the layers, I'm trying to feather it out. That looks a little bit more realistic, hopefully. The shadows and the highlights, I think, are what really make the final piece.
I think so too. I think too, anytime that you're doing glass, if you're successful with the glass, it's gonna make or break the piece.
Yeah.
So, sorry about this one. I'm just kidding. It looks phenomenal.
Oh, you're in a mood. Yay. I love when you're in a mood. It's fun.
Paul says he's just finished his dinner, which consists of pure heart attack food. I think Eve wants to talk about cats because she typed...
She loves her cats.
Cats!
Oh, you said that Angel had a question after Michael.
Feetless elephants.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Steak bakes. What are steak bakes, Paul?
Alright, I'm going to bump up the heat just a little bit. Make sure I've got all my first layer in.
Michael says, so glad you're doing live on your channel.
Oh,
I have
thank you.
thought about going live on mine.
Well, the main reason I went live is because wood burning takes so long, it's hard for me to consistently upload videos. And that always made me feel bad. So I thought if I went live, there'd at least be something once a week.
That's true.
And then the bonus of it is I get to talk to everybody and hang out while I'm working. I think that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Is getting to talk to you guys.
Yeah, it's like having a bunch of friends come into the house and visit. Except we don't have to clean it.
And sit over my shoulder.
Right.
And talk about cats in my ear.
Who could you be talking about?
I don't know who I'm talking about. Grace and Eve.
Angel has a question.
Yes, please.
What do you do when heat shows an impurity, different texture in the wood? She says she doesn't know if she explained that right, but I think
I know what she's talking about because
yeah.
I've got it going on right here in the shadow. I am going to slowly bump up the heat to match the area around it so that I can blend it in. Or you can sand to try to smooth it out. Or if possible, incorporate it into your piece. That's probably the easiest one, is to incorporate it. But right now I'm trying to deal with that where I touch down too hot.
Yeah.
And the grain is a little different. So it looks different. It happened in the box lid too for me. And I had to work at blending it out. That's why I'm trying not to lift the pin tip right now because I'm getting somewhat of an even burn. And I just don't want another blob.
Yeah.
That is much darker than... This area is much darker than I would like the shadow. So...
Eve is not feeling well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe fighting a cold, and Grace is just getting over her cold. Everybody get well.
Sucks when anybody gets a cold.
Yeah. I hate that. Well, Paul says steak bites are steak in puff pastry. He says there's gravy in the pastry too.
Huh.
We do something similar with like sausages. We put sausages and cheese. like croissants.
Are you trying to make my stomach grow?
No.
So right here on this part of the shadow, I have the different burn color coming up. The grain, for whatever reason, on this wood has just been a pain.
Would you say then that every individual piece of wood requires a different approach, or just...
You can use the same approach, just be ready to make changes as you're going. Don't expect everything to burn exactly the same. And it's the same when you color. That's why I always think you should swatch out the colors you're going to use on a scrap piece of similar wood. And if you've cut that wood down, then you can use a scrap from that wood in order to test. And I lifted this pen, so now I gotta find another hot spot.
You may want to elaborate a little bit, because we've got some folks in chat that may not know that you add color, or how.
Well, you can add color, all kinds of color actually, but you need to swatch out on a separate board. I guess you could even do the back of the same board that you're going to be burning on to test it and see how that color is going to react with the wood. Colors change. A purple may become more muted if it's being applied to a yellow base wood. And with blue.
Angel, in regards to earlier what you were talking about, she says, thanks for explaining that. Before it freaked me out and I kept changing chips.
You know, I would just... Let's see here. If you're burning in layers, so you're starting off light, I would just slowly work your heat up and just keep trying to blend it in. Let's see right here.
Speaking of heat, Michael is asking, what is your typical heat setting on something like this?
Right now I'm at a 2. In general, I tend to not burn over a 5. Of course, it depends on the burner. The razor tip burner, the heat settings are higher. But with Colwood, Optima, Burnmaster, and Nibs burner, when I don't have issues, I don't tend to burn over a 5.
Okay.
In fact, I think the book area was right around a 4.
Huh. And again, you just have to adjust as necessary, right?
Yep, I just keep bumping it up. See, right here I'm going to have to darken the book because the shadow is not very dark in between the box and the inkwell. And I do have some pencil line here. So I'll touch down over in a dark area, bring it up, and darken it. The highlight doesn't reach over here. And see right here on this wood, for whatever reason, the box has been burning more gray, and I don't know why. And it doesn't matter what tip I'm using, so it's the wood.
That's an interesting observation, that the burn itself is going to be different from wood to wood, and even from different places on the wood.
Yeah. In general, basswood does not tend to do this, so I'm not sure if it's the brand. So now, since I've darkened this line, the shadow can fall behind, and I don't need to I shouldn't have to darken it too much more.
Well, Meg says, thank goodness that you said that. I always feel like I'm turning the razor tip way up to get anything going.
No, the razor tip, unfortunately, for whatever reason, you'll have a little less fluctuation in that having to turn it up if you go with their fixed tips and if you use the heavy duty red cord. That should allow you to bump down to a lower heat setting in general. Let's see, because I was working sideways, this is kind of off.
Angel says, experience is priceless. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And Paul says, it's amazing, Angel. Val is really ace.
Oh.
Which I think is a British term for just okay.
Just okay. Oh, well, that would fit. That would fit. And even on the, though it won't affect the walnut hollow as much, you can also burn on that tip. Now, my shadow is a little off, so I'm going to take it out just a little bit and try to blend it. Just so. Feather isn't having too much of a shadow on the back.
No.
So fortunately, we're missing Andrew in chat. He was still having audio issues, even on his new tablet, and he felt bad with everybody having to retype.
And Soup Can, or should I say,
Soup Can's at work.
Kurt Russell's at work.
Yep.
I wonder what
He still hasn't responded to that, so
that's because it's the truth.
He might be a little subconscious about that.
And Mind the Watercolor isn't here either.
Steve, yeah. I'm sure he's busy.
Paul says it's regarding Ace. He says it is slightly above average.
So I went a little darker right here, which is fine. The angle's a little off, but I can be a little more flexible with the shadow. Yeah. As long as it...
Can you?
I can. I can. Let's see here.
There's some really, really wonderful comments in chat. I'm not going to read them all, but you should definitely go back like you always do and read them.
I will.
They're really nice.
I always appreciate them. My hand's starting to get sore. Alright, I'm going to come back to that. My hand's starting to hurt at that angle. So, looking at the book, there's areas I can darken on the book. And I do need to straighten out, what you can't see, the book line here. There is a bit of shadow coming off from the side. It's lighter than the back.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to try to balance this.
That is a little bit. I just realized this, and you've been burning on this for quite some time. But I just noticed it because I'm the perceptive type. That you're having to hold that round.
In order to make the camera, yeah.
Yeah, because normally your work is angular, and you can just kind of sit it there. But since it's around, you have to brace it.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Michael asked, how long have you been working on this piece?
Let's see here. I think by the time all the videos are added up, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 hours.
8 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That sounds about right. This one's actually going rather quickly for me.
Mm.
So, this edge of the book back here is going to be darker because there's not any reflective light hitting it. So I'm going to go ahead and bump up to 2.5. Now I can't get a hold of my scratch wood. There we go. I always test my pen. Even though this is birch and this is basswood, I can at least have an idea of how dark the pen is going to be. But I do suggest, if you can, having the same kind of wood. And I just got little strips of it at Michael's in a package. that is used for this. Let's see here. How dark do I want to go?
Yeah, I'll be making you some ceramic masks.
Yay.
So for the torch. Sorry, I said it. So.
Oh no.
But we won't have those till mid-November because the ones that I had made that.
Yeah, that's right.
That got messed up. We're not firing anything else until I think mid-November, mid to late November. So
trying to get this to blend out a little bit. This area is not as dark as the ink bottle. In fact, it's lighter. I have a black and white that I'm also using. So I'm going to have to deepen up the ink bottle. And this is where I was talking about balance, getting the balance between all the objects in the piece.
Mm-hmm.
The book is lighter than the ink. The ink is actually about the same as the book. And I'll come back to that. I had thought about adding some blue to the ink because it's a blue ink bottle. But I think I'm going to let that be.
I would let it be because it looks so nice all in a single tone.
It's going to have the white on it, so for the highlights.
Will it even need it? It already looks high.
For high highlights, I'm going to try it. I haven't used that technique, so I'm curious.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't need it. I just want to try it.
Okay.
Let's see here. Darken, yes, a tad.
Angel's asking, do you buy your wood in bulk or 55% off coupon at Michael's?
Both. The birch I buy through Dick Blick, and it comes in. The smaller pieces come in 5 packs.
Yeah.
And they're a good price. I'm actually don't have it yet. I'm hoping they'll accept me into the affiliate program, and that'll help the channel a little bit more. And I'll only be linking things that I think are very good to use.
We have Kathy Whitney in chat who says,
"Hi, Kathy.
Hello, everyone. Looking great, Val."
Thank y'all. So just trying to get. I don't think I'm going to go too much darker on the book. I'm just trying to darken. Let's see, that's lighter. This is darker. And I can bump up the heat even more, but right now I'm just trying to kind of keep it the same. But yeah, this wood has a major issue with different areas. And which that's not really normal for basswood, so I don't know what's going on there. Let's see here. That down a little bit. The book does not have any high highlights. So
No, because it's sort of a
black matte book.
Yeah. Well, it's got a little bit of a sheen to it.
Yeah, it's got the sheen, but none of the white. I did bring down the line for the box last night because I knew that was going to bug me.
Kathy says the shading is amazing.
Thank you.
Angel says, I heard basswood is the best. Which do you prefer?
I like both of them. I do like the lightness and even grain of the basswood. But birch burns very well too.
She's asking if you've ever burned on yew wood.
Actually, I have. The fox in the living room is that.
Really? Oh.
Your dad sent it to me. The wood.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to go get that?
No, that's a personal one.
Oh, okay.
No, that's personal for you.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. But yes, I have. Be careful sanding that wood. I've gotten much better with wearing a mask. I didn't used to wear a mask, but you would, I believe, if I remember right, it's not nice on the lungs if you're not wearing a mask or respirator with it while you're sanding.
Well, Michael says, thank you for sharing, Val. Got to get going, but wanted to let you know I really enjoy your work and channel.
Thank you, Michael. I'm so glad you stopped by. I will definitely check out your channel. Is it linked to the name that we see on the screen? Or you can leave it in the Facebook and I'll come find you.
Okay. Michael Ann's wondering, at what age did you guys start arting? See, I started all my... Oh, arting.
Yeah, don't add an F to it.
Okay.
Oh, God. Seriously arting, or as an adult, I started in 2001, 2002, trying to deal with my pain. I did it as a kid. But got away from it. Let's see here. Where do I want to go?
Maymay asks,
Hi, Maymay.
is arting a verb? Apparently it is now.
It can be. Okay, let's see here. I need to go back up to the shadow. Not sure how dark I want the ink bottle to go, but I need to. And I'm still set at the little over 2. Get it on screen. As long as I keep it moving, I should be okay. The minute I lift off, it's going to heat up. The tip is going to heat up.
Yeah. I've been arting seriously.
As an adult.
As an adult.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Over 20 years.
Yeah.
You're going to have to...
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You're going to have to give them an idea of how old you are.
Yeah.
I'm 4.4.
I turned 48 this year, right?
Yes, you did.
Oh my God. It happened.
It happened.
It was a thing.
It happened.
Yeah. So since I was about 24 or 5, I guess, I've been arting seriously. But I haven't been focused on it professionally since about 30. I was focused on it professionally.
That would be 18 years professionally.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I do want the shadow to go darker, but I don't want it to be overly. Trying to work that out to see how dark I want it. Because there is shadow down here. This line is darker up, not down. So, I've got a bigger picture. Should I show it of background?
Sure.
Oh, I can't do it yet.
What do you mean? Are you talking about your...
On screen.
It's on screen.
No, I have a bigger version so that people, if they're on their mobile devices,
Oh.
because the screen is smaller.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I can see it pretty good, but I'm on a tablet, so...
Yeah. Let's see here. Sometimes going with the green helps, but see, I'm getting all kinds of splotches. Even though I'm using the same speed, I haven't adjusted the heat. This is not burning smoothly. And it happens. It happens with all wood, but I think I've seen it happen the most with this one. Here on the screen.
Apparently Paul's having trouble with buffering, and it's forcing him to have to eat treacle pudding and custard. Since life is so unfair.
Aww.
Well, I'm sorry, Paul.
Let's see here. What should I darken besides? I need to give my finger a break on this. I bounce around a lot. See, actually, I went too high on the shadow. I should have drawn it out.
I don't know. I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, but this side is off. The top left. I could have... Though I can sand it and lighten it. So.
Whatever you decide to do, but I think it looks really nice.
Definitely building slowly. I'm going to drop down to buy the book. And I think I am not... Let's see here. If you hear tapping, that's my cord hitting my wood base. I'm still set a little over 2, but because I'm moving quickly, it's staying pretty even.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the little tricks. You figure out what speed works for you so that you don't have to keep bumping up the temperature. You can use the same temperature setting and just keep going. Let's see here.
Jill says that, she has, I think rheumatoid arthritis in her hands. I'm sorry.
I feel ya.
That she says
I feel ya.
that she can't believe the spatula Star Trek tool has the precision of what you're doing with the circles you're doing.
It does. It's just getting the speed down that works for you and the angle of your wood. I'm not burning flat. I'm at about an 80-degree angle, and that helps.
Mm.
And moving the board around versus your body.
Gotcha.
Let's see. I'm just going to connect these. Wasn't sure if I was going to. I'll do it lightly. It's a little darker. I'll come back to it. Yeah, I'm not happy with how off I am on that. I can sand though and get it back. So I'm not worried about that. Now I have to deal with this pencil line, and I'm not looking forward to it. Now this part is darker than this part because the light is hitting it directly. So I'm going to go ahead and bump down to the 1 again. And I'm going to have to bring the line up a little bit, I think. I think that's the only way I can resolve it, is to bring the line up. Let's see how off I'm going to be. Actually, it looks like I do have a little wiggle room.
Yeah.
So that helps. Yep.
Oh, that's good.
It's going to be right there, but I do have... And I can always bring the other line down if I need to. So, hold it. I'm going to touch down in the book first. And bring it over. And hope I don't move the glass. Let's see here. Let's see how off I am. Actually, that'll work, I think. Yeah. That'll be okay. So, burn that pencil away, hopefully. And because I did sand there, I can see the lighter sand marks. It's going to alter how each grain that's lighter burns. That's why I don't like spot sanding if I don't have to. In this case, I had to. I'm actually going to go a little darker. Get this done quicker. Though I do take your time. I'm just trying to get this to a point where we can put the highlights on it and see the difference.
Mimi says, I should do the dishes, but I'm just so tired. No, Mimi, you need to relax. This is your time. Just chill out.
Did I mention he's an enabler?
I'm a procrastinator too.
Oh, we both are.
It's okay though. It's okay. The
Dishes aren't going nowhere.
Shh. No, they'll wait.
Yeah, they'll wait for you. Let's see here. I don't think I'm going to bring necessarily this shading all the way down. I don't like how the graphite is not hiding. Go away. I'm trying all different directions to get into the grain. I'm going to have to actually put the pin on the side, I think. So right now, the tip is just angled slightly to my left so that it'll hit the grain better.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
But it's good to have a description so
Yeah.
people see know exactly what you're doing.
My other option is hopefully, though where I put white highlight colored pencil, I will not be wiping the piece with alcohol. I'm hoping distilled alcohol will take off some of the graphite.
Now I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you're dealing with an unfinished edge like this, when you're doing a round, like how far out do you want to the bark do you want to burn?
I have personal preference.
Mm.
I like to stop where the color starts getting darker on the wood.
Okay.
But you can go all the way to the bark. It's just, in fact, that edge is a little too dark. But
Oh, okay.
again, I'll sand it and see what happens, so that I can kind of get the gradient. So it's darker near the book, and later. Yeah, I'm hoping that is going to be fixed with some distilled denatured alcohol. Sorry, brain stopped there. Alright, let's try, oops, sorry, lightening some of the burn, because it went a little darker than I wanted here.
Apparently, Angel and Paul grew up in the same place.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they you know how was it Andrew and Paul
Mm-hmm.
that they started slipping into dialect?
Yeah.
Well, they're doing that right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Can you imagine if Andrew was here as well? It'd be ridiculous.
It'd be ridiculous. Alright, so that looks a little better, I think. I do want to lighten this. I don't like it. Because I was working sideways, I went too far out. Instead of looking at my reference, and it's okay though.
Angel is asking if she has some specific you would questions.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to know if she can get in contact with you later.
Sure, on the Facebook group page, that would be great. Now, I haven't burned on Wood since 2010.
Okay.
So, I will try to answer the best I can. Yeah, it's been a long time. I do remember getting sick after sanding the wood. I think I got a little sick because I didn't wear
You didn't wear
a mask. Yep, I didn't wear a mask and it got in my lungs. So in the past, I didn't have a problem with birch or basswood doing it. Though now, I just wear a mask. I may not wear a mask when I'm burning, but I do when I'm sanding.
Okay.
Alright, so that lightened a bit. that off there. I did leave my pen on. It's up in a very sturdy soldering pen holder. So I'm not worried about it. Alright, where do I want to go? There's a little bit of shading below the book. Shadow. I can go darker in the back. I'm just not sure if I'm going to. And then I need to put some details in the middle here and make sure everything's balanced and put the highlights in, and it's done. Alright, I'm still a little over, I'm about 1.5, and it's not a very dark shadow below the book. So I'm going to take it easy, hopefully. Maybe. And I may be off screen, but sorry. I'm coming back.
You're not off screen right now.
I'm coming back.
Right?
Yeah. When I was at the very top, though.
Oh, okay.
Because of how I have the wood.
Gotcha.
It's easier for a straight line to have it where you can pull down the line versus trying to go up the line.
That's true.
So
when you're trying to do horizontal lines, you tend to follow the arc of your
hand.
Your hand ends up being curved.
I think I can go a little darker with this one, but right now I'm just trying to. The book itself was not straight, so I think there's a little bit more on this side.
Look. Glad we watched that.
I am glad we watched it. We watched Hocus Pocus the other night. I loved that movie. Makes me want to run amok. Amok. Alright.
Wow. That's pretty deep, Paul.
What?
Well, you know, Paul is normally antagonizing chat with weird comments.
Yes.
But he just said something really, really profound.
Okay. I moved.
About relaxing and feeling guilt.
It's not worth it.
No.
Not worth it.
No.
Alright, so we got a little bit under the book. It's not going to stand out very much because, though it is going to stand out more on this end based on the photo, so I'll go a little wider and a little darker.
Gotta find some U word first. She says Irish U is magical in Celtic history.
Is that the particular reason why you want to burn on that one? You would? I know what she's talking about.
Okay.
I know. Unlock.
What?
Oh, I looked up. So, I took it all the way out, but I think I'm gonna. What are you laughing for?
You're just like loud noises.
Loud noises. Huh? It was off screen. Let's see here.
Yeah, such good lines that would be hard to draw. That's why you drew it with fire, like your channel says.
Drawing with fire. So I'm sure some people click on my name thinking there's going to be like a flamethrower.
Well, certain videos.
Don't say the word. Don't say the word.
We have to go back and revisit that. You know this.
I will.
I know. It needs to be like a regular thing, like Flamethrower Friday.
I'm not sure how.
Grace, Eve, back me up here.
Don't help him. Bad enough. Alright, so I'm going to
Torch
pull this.
Tuesday.
What? You said it! You said it. Now, is Eve running amok?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We have a little bit of a delay.
So, I'm wanting a little bit more.
Yeah, Grace came up with it at the same time. This is Torch Tuesday. Yeah. Because of the delay. Some good thinking there, Grace.
Don't help me. Now, the shadow is running parallel with the backline, so I want to keep the shading going in the same direction so that the perspective doesn't get thrown off. See, the light burning is easy to remove and less stressful. It's when it's dark that you have the problem. That's why I start off light, so that if I need to fix, I have a bit of room. So I like that the burning, and I'll do it on the other side, that it's kind of zagging off the side. It's not showing as well. There we go.
Well, Angel says she thought that Valarie burned fantasy art like dragons.
I can.
Well, you have.
A dragon? No.
You drew it.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Another. Yes, I did. One. That's right. You're a dragon. You drew it and I burned it.
Yes, featuring marshmallows. Exactly. You'll have to go back and chat to read that one.
Yeah. Well, it is getting closer to wintertime, so.
That's true.
Alright, I do want to still darken part of this, not the whole thing. And then I think I'm really good to go. Touch down in a dark area, and I'm going to bring it up. And I did bump down to a 1. Trying not to have a halo around the objects. Also. Alright, so let me put the piece up and down. Let's see here. This goes a little this way. And it goes up at an angle. And I'm not going to get too detailed. Part of this is darker. And I'm going to try to smooth it out a bit. Get it a little darker. And let it be. Hopefully that plan works. I am pushing in a little bit because of the grain. Trying to get it even. I won't be using this wood again. I'm not happy with it. I'm not sure why. Or it could just be this piece of wood. Maybe it didn't want to be burned. Maybe it thought it would be painful.
Maybe writing a song. There's
tons
of rhyming.
Well, write it down.
You can read it.
And if it has anything to do with the channel, maybe we can turn it into a theme song.
Yeah.
And I will give Toasties the credit. Let's see here, a little angle.
Well, right now it's sounding like a Johnny Cash song.
Oh. Let's see here. A little like this. Up a little bit. This.
Yeah, maybe we can license Ring of Fire to be your theme song for your channel.
Probably not. I'm guessing that wouldn't be.
Get in contact with June.
I don't know if June owns the rights or if it's somebody else. Alright, let's see here. Touch down. I do want this darker. I want to hurry up and get this part done. I want to see the white. he's going to have to go up. Alright, so I am closer to 2. It's going to take a second for the pen to heat up so I can get up there. There we go. Unfortunately, it's really just a crawl trying to get the layers built up.
Pumpkin spice flavored marshmallows?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And mint ones.
I've seen mint, I've seen chocolate, I've seen the vanilla.
I've seen different colors. I think I've had strawberry and chocolate, but never...
Have we had strawberry?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Maybe not strawberry. Chocolate ones for sure.
Yeah, I didn't like the chocolate ones.
Nah.
Let's see here. I still need to go darker. So, bump it up again.
What do you buy when you say bump it up?
I'm turning the heat up on the burner. Right now I'm using the Colwood, and I'm going to 2.5. But I'm going to touch down quickly in a dark area so I can pull a little bit of the heat off of the tip, and then slow down a bit so it'll burn a little hotter. Oh, see, messed up. Went too slow. Yeah, this wood is just not cooperating.
I think it looks quite nice though. And if you look at the shadow in your reference, there are different variations in the shadow. So
yeah,
it's not
the end of the world.
No. Well, I wasn't gonna go that far, Val. I was gonna say that it looks really nice.
Let's see here. Slow down just a little bit. Stick to the same direction. That way. I don't have that happen again. See, because it keeps darkening up the area that.
That was interesting to see which direction the chat goes each time that
Oh,
we
you
go
never
live.
know.
Sometimes it's cats. This time it's
Food.
marshmallows.
Oh. I'm glad we got some new people in chat for our
Yeah,
toasty family.
I know.
That makes me happy. And I'm assuming everybody's getting along and enjoying themselves.
Oh, they are.
That's my biggest thing, is I want you guys to enjoy yourself. The video will be available on replay, so I think it's nice when people make friends and chat together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best part, honestly.
Well, it's nice too because as an artist, it's not like everybody next door is an artist. And
Yeah.
sometimes you have to travel the world, and technology makes that possible. So you can have a nice close group of friends that are artists, and that you talk about similar things, and it just works out.
Because remember, just because you're burning, graphite and colored pencil are the closest similar media, and the techniques really do go hand in hand. Alright, I don't think I'm going to go too much further on the background. I think I'm going to...
Okay.
Do you think it needs more?
I don't, personally, but that's just me. You could ask Chad.
Kat, do you think it should have more?
May says, if I saw the still life without watching the wood burning process, I would never guess this was difficult. This wood was difficult. Because you've been talking about how the wood's giving you problems.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I do try to hide it. You know, I'll take this photo.
I'm not talking about ice cream. Sorry, I prefer Haagen-Dazs chocolate chip.
Bluebell. And there is no other. Okay.
Whatever.
Oh, I didn't work on the metal. Damn it.
You got time.
There is, luckily it's small. I am going to switch over to, I put on the ball tip for the Optima.
For the Optima?
Optima.
Sorry.
It's a little bigger. They do have a smaller ball tip. I just don't have it. Here I'm on the right side. Yep, right side.
Eve says it looks really, really good.
Thank you. So I'm just going to get in here.
You're just going to do the metal on the clasp?
Try to.
It's funny, the top half of that came off.
Oh,
Yeah, it used to be a hook, and now that's just the bottom part.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time getting... This is a little too big. I might have to switch over to the other tip on the Colwood. The one that's really small and tiny. Let's see here. Oh, I guess I can zoom back in. Let's see here. So that's a little better. Let's see here. I do think because Optima, Pat is the one who came up with the ball tips. They do heat up the best because he perfected how to attach to the pin.
Wow, it really made it pop.
Kind of fudge it a little bit. Sometimes you don't put all the detail in.
No, and that's very important because sometimes it's that impression of detail, that intention that your mind fills in, and it does a better job than directly describing every little bit.
So it's okay that I'm off.
Who says you're off?
Well, because I know it's off. But I don't think it's enough to freak out about.
I don't think so.
Let's see here.
Your definition of off and mine are different. So
I'm going to heat up a little bit to 3.5 and just kind of get in a couple more small lost and found lines.
Would you say lost and found lines?
Well, yeah, because it's more interesting if it's not a perfect straight line all the time.
I had never heard that term.
No? Oh.
Did you just make that up?
No.
Oh.
It is an art term.
Huh. Well, it's not taught at university.
Well, yeah.
Pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that way it's more interesting. Because, you've got this straight line here.
Yeah.
But it tends to be a little more interesting if you don't do it in a dash, but that it stops and it starts and stops.
That is like some deep advice right there. That's like some masterclass level stuff right there.
So do I get paid the $2,500 for the class?
I can make you some spaghetti.
No.
No, over rice.
Oh, okay. Just trying to get some little touches in. I don't want to overdo it.
That's true.
I can go a little darker. Egg. Maybe. Now there's a chance that unless there's there's colored pencil white on it, that I will find something else wrong with it and keep going. So let's.
I think I should just sneak into the studio at night and take your stuff so you don't overwork it. And then I'll just find it, air quotes, find it, like months later. Like, oh look at this finished piece.
Alright, so there we go. It's back out, and we're gonna go ahead and turn that off.
Well, it looks really fantastic.
Let's go ahead and pop in the white highlights. The white is not going everywhere. It's only
just here and there.
Yep.
So what are you using to put in the white?
I am going to use the Prismacolor Very Thin to start with.
Mm.
It works really well on wood.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, just enough to kind of pop things out and not overdo it. And if there's any graphite showing, there is a bit of opacity to the pencil. So hopefully it will hide it a little bit. Let's see here. There.
Angel's asking, why is it off, Val? What's missing? Nothing. So, like, when Val is scrutinizing her work, like everybody else, you know, imagine that you're scrutinizing your work with a magnifying glass. Well, Val scrutinizes her work with an electron telescope. Or microscope, not a telescope. So, she sees
Let's say my work's not that big.
the smallest details that she agonizes over. Make sure that everything's to her liking.
And that's the biggest thing, to my liking, and hope that other people like it.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I
Is
will
that
say
popping out on camera
it's
a little bit
popping
more?
out. It's
Okay.
popping out.
Okay. I'm not trying to put it everywhere, just some places.
Yeah.
Just
I do the same thing when I finish a piece. Like the white, like titanium white. If I'm using titanium white or something that's close to it, you know, only goes on the highest highlights, and it's necessary at the end for certain things, like highlights on the eyes, especially if you want the focus to be there.
yeah. Doing a little bit lighter in some areas of the box. Everywhere.
Oh, Paul's mom had to get on him again.
Uh-oh. What did you do this time?
He made a pun about the white pencil. Eve's like, Paul.
Let's see here. Now, I think I can add a little bit more on the feather, because on the quill, because it needs a little bit more pop to stand out.
Well, I think too that since you're using it, even though it's not a lot of white, I think it's good for the balance of the piece.
Yeah. Add some like, feathers in, down, just where it's fuzzy, not overall.
On the barrel of the quill.
Yeah, I have a little bit on the barrel. I think that helps it to stand out a little bit more.
It does.
Metal has high highlights. A highlight here. And I'm just trying to follow the shape of Izzy. Yeah. Some areas I'm pushing harder than others, just so it stands out a little bit more.
Yeah. I was so focused on what you're doing that I didn't realize that my right leg's asleep.
Let's see here.
Pins and needles.
Don't want to overdo it.
No.
I'm just looking for what else can stand out.
I think you're there, personally, but maybe let it sit.
Yeah, I think so. Just wanna brighten these up a little bit. Let's see how the Prismacolor. I have the old Premier pencils.
What's the difference?
This is a softer pencil. Then the very thin is a harder lead.
Ah.
And actually, it's a little bit brighter. So let's put it and right there. There. For wood, the Prismacolor seems to be the best to use. Though the Karandashi, actually, I forgot about those. I did pull those out too, but okay. Let's see here. Those are lighter. I think I can go little right there. And bring some up here. Oh, there's some at the bottom here. Yeah.
There's a lot of chat to read today.
A lot of chat to read. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think. Does it look like I need any more? On the. Let's see. There's none on the book.
I don't think so.
I don't want to lose. Let's see. I'll turn it that way so I can see better. So they can see better. Actually, I think I want to zoom so you guys can see and tell me, does the white come across as well as I hoped?
I think it does.
Let's see here. I do like it on the quill. I think I'm going to go just a little bit. There. Let's see. Hopefully, let's see. I think I'm pretty much going to call this done.
Cool.
I do like adding the white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. It was, I think, just enough. And I didn't add it everywhere. It's only on the very, very shiny... how about this to show up? Shiny areas. Back it out. There we go. Just compare it with the bottle. So just the high, shiny areas is where I use the white. There we go. So,
Shiny.
yeah, I think I'm gonna... Oh, I can prop it right there. Perfect. Stay. All right, I think I'm going to end it here. So hopefully, if you're watching this on replay and you watch it from start to end, this makes sense to you, and you can get the photo over on the Drawing with Fire group. The link is down in the description. Do we have any more questions?
No, chat's just saying how nice it looks. Definitely read those comments.
Thank you. Now I gotta figure out what to do next week live.
Well, hopefully it's not anything to do with a torch or anything.
Oh, stop it. Oh, I do want to say, on sealing this, because I added the colored pencil to it, it is highly suggested that you use some kind of spray sealant. Just a couple of coats on the sprays, on the thin coats on the wood to lock in and seal in the colored pencil.
That way it doesn't smear.
That way it doesn't smear, because I like to brush on my sealant. I think it comes out smoother and I have a little bit more control. But I don't like having things the polyurethane does activate the color pencil and move it around. So that is what I'm using right now. Right here. And this is clear satin.
Angela has a question. If you
Sure.
don't like the pencil, how do you get it off?
If you don't like the pencil, I actually have found that these color pencil blender pens that are alcohol based will wipe it off pretty good.
Okay.
I don't have an area that I went overboard. So.
No, it's just a technical question from her.
Yeah. Alcohol should take it off. So.
Grace says Torch Wednesday. That's not right. It'd be like Wildfire Wednesday.
Well, if you're new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We are live every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Arizona time. And if you have any questions or comments, please make sure you leave them down below. Don't forget to hit the like button. Happy burning, guys. Bye.
Bye.